Hey gamers, and welcome to yet another board meeting. What we're going to do today is look at a new edition of an old game that my son and I have played the mess out of. That game is King of Tokyo, designed by Richard Garfield, and we will be learning the new version, King of Tokyo Dark Edition, which is almost the same game with just one little new mechanic and some different, grittier art. In King of Tokyo, 2 to 6 players will be trying to take control of Tokyo by battling each other as huge creatures, ranging from mechanized dragons to big cybertronic bunnies. The battle will take place through rolling dice and purchasing cards that give them special abilities with their energy charges. Players will fight until one monster either reaches 20 star points or all other monsters are brought to 0 health points. Let's clear all this up and start setting up just the Dark Edition version. To set up, each player selects a monster and takes its figure and monster board. Set your monster's life points to 10 and victory points to 0. Usually the monsters stand up, but so you can see them better, I'll lay them down. Place the Tokyo board in the center of the table. Shuffle the power cards to form a deck, then reveal the top 3 cards to form the marketplace. Put the 6 black dice and all the energy charges beside the board. Place the wickedness counter that corresponds to your monster by the wickedness track. Stack the wickedness tiles next to the numbered circles corresponding to their values. Now set aside any extra tokens and the 2 extra dice. Those are only used if certain cards are bought. Now that you have set up, you determine the first player. And how you determine the first player is all players will roll these dice, and whoever rolls the most smash icons, which is the little paw, will be the first player. The first player will take the dice and they will roll them. Now, they can either choose to stop or keep rolling, which they can choose to keep any dice they want to keep and roll all the rest for their second roll. They would roll again, and now they can set aside more dice, and they can even choose to re-roll dice that they have set aside before. And they could roll for a third time. All players only get a maximum of 3 rolls. Now they would have to resolve their dice. But let's get into the dice before we go into that. There are 6 different icons, and all of these dice are the exact same. There are energy charges, which you just simply take an energy charge and put that in front of you. There are smash icons, but we'll get into that in a bit. There is the heal, and you would go to your monster board, and you could heal yourself 1 point, but you can only go to a maximum of 10 if you're healing through dice. There are numbers, and there is a 1, 2, and a 3. If ever you roll 3 of one number, you will get that many victory points up here by 1. So if I rolled 3 1s, I would get 1 point. If I rolled 3 2s, I would get 2 points. If I rolled 3 3s, I would get 3 points. If ever you roll any more than the 3, say I rolled 4 1s, I would get the 1 point for this and then an extra point for that. I could also get more. I would get 3 points for that, and so on. Now, these will also have to deal with the wickedness track, which this is the one new mechanic that is not in the original King of Tokyo. If ever you roll 3 1s, you would move up your token 2 spots, which is listed right down here. If ever you would roll 3 2s, though, you would just move up 1. Now, if your token ever goes onto the 3, the 6, or the 10, you would get to choose one of these special tiles from that area and take it and put it in front of you, and then put the rest back. Now let's talk about the smash icon. How the smash icon works is you will hit an opponent for 1 health point for each smash icon. Now, who you target depends on where you are. If you are outside of Tokyo and not on this board, you would hit whoever is in Tokyo. Say this player was in Tokyo, and I rolled 2 smash icons. That person would lose 2 health. If I was in Tokyo and I rolled the 2 smash icons, I would hit everyone that is outside of Tokyo, all players. This is a Tokyo Bay. That's only used in a 5 to 6 player game, but it's just like the regular Tokyo. Now, how you get into Tokyo is whenever you hit a player that is in Tokyo, they have the chance to concede Tokyo. And you cannot heal while in Tokyo, and everybody's going to be hitting you, so you might want to concede. If they concede, you would go into Tokyo and they would go back to their player and be outside of Tokyo. Whenever you enter Tokyo, you get 1 victory point. And if ever Tokyo is empty on your turn, which at the start of the game it is empty, the player automatically gets to go into Tokyo and get that 1 point. If ever you're still in Tokyo and the game has come around and it's your turn again, you're still in Tokyo, you would get 2 victory points. So after you have rolled your dice and resolved all your dice, and then you have decided who's going to be in Tokyo by conceding or whatever, then a player can buy cards from the marketplace. And you can see over here that the top left is how much these power cards are. And these power cards will give you some kind of ability. There are 2 types of them. There are cards that say discard, and that will just give you a one-time boost. And there are keep, which you will keep these, and these will just give you some special ability for the rest of the game. If ever you buy a card from the market, it is instantly replaced by another card. Say you don't like any of the cards that are in this market, you could pay 2 energy charges just to wipe them, and you would get 3 new cards out there. So after you have bought all the cards that you would like, then the dice goes to the next player and they would do the exact same thing on their turn. So to recap the player's turn, they will roll all the dice, they will resolve any of the dice, and then they will determine who is in Tokyo, then they will buy cards, and then it goes to the next player's turn. This will keep going round and round until one of the players has reached 20 points on their victory points, or there's only 1 monster left because everyone else has been brought to 0 health. That player, whether it's victory points or you're the last monster alive, is considered the winner, and now you are crowned Dark King of Tokyo. And that is how you play King of Tokyo Dark Edition.